This episode of LFG opens up with the men's future greats having a little fun before the big elimination later today.
I know the mood that everybody might be in.
We also hear from the promised child, Chris Island.
It's not the time to doubt myself. I have to keep believing in myself. I have to keep believing in the promises that I've told everybody.
Shawn Michaels says today 4 of you will be going home here in week 2 of the LFG playoffs, as we get ready for the legends to sit down with the future greats again. And then we hear from Bubba Ray Dudley.
Sink or swim. Get over or get out. Win, you move forward. You lose, you go home.
Meanwhile, Mickie James looks at her team like her kids, and she doesn't want to see any of them go.
I seriously want both of them to win, and I could pick reasons as to why I should choose both of them. They were very even for me.
Mickie says she loves that throughout this process, both Troy Yearwood and Chris Island have created this bond, and how poetic it is that they have to eliminate each other now. We also see Troy going through his various accomplishments in the PC rankings again. First of all, Tony D'Angelo, how you doing? Second of all, this man has more absolute strength than Obafemi. I'm sorry, Troy, I wasn't familiar with your game.
I told myself, I'm not going into this being anybody but Chris Island. Coach Bloom said yes to Chris Island. That's all I've ever wanted since I was a little boy, is just somebody to say yes to me.
We need to get Chris Island into a therapist's office as soon as possible. Anyway, let's check back in with Bubba Ray Dudley's Yoda session over there on Dagobah.
I know why you should stay, Drake. And I know why you should go, BJ.
Okay. Bubba says every legend thinks you should stay, Drake, and no one even knows how you're still here, BJ.
I believe in you. I think you can really do this.
And he continues by saying this.
I think you know how I feel about you. You have a legitimate shot, BJ. No lie whatsoever. Good, bad, or indifferent, you have a personality. People would pay to see you get punched.
Bubba says you've done good, Drake, but only recently have you shown your character. You're both gonna have to work together to send each other home. Meanwhile, over on Team Taker, Elijah Holyfield talks about how he's learned it's okay to be different. He's gonna keep maximizing his strengths and minimizing his weaknesses. Then Shiloh says this.
Ultimately, what it was is just like letting that intensity come out in the matches and how much that can add to the match as a whole.
Then Booker T gives a very Booker T motivational speech to Jasper Troy and Anthony Luke.
Come on, BJ Ray. Come on. Come on. We better than all them suckers, man. We know that.
Then he asks them this question.
If I have to cut you, what you gonna do?
The first time in this entire competition where I've genuinely seen that dog in Anthony Luke. This whole competition, they've seen something in him, but I don't feel like we've really truly seen it until now. In the ring, he's always been solid, but I'm happy that now he's finally showing some character. But then things take a very intense turn for the worse.
You wanna know where I was? Where were you? I was in the hospital, watching my newborn baby fight for her life. Oh my God. Imagine that.
I respect that.
Imagine that.
I respect that.
Imagine that.
I respect it.
So tell me, you want to know where I was?
But that's fine.
I was in the hospital.
Because at the end of the day,
Booker T says that's exactly what I'm looking for. He's looking for a guy that's willing to go out there and hit someone in the mouth, write his own ticket, and give him a hell of a performance. Jasper Troy talks more about the intense moments around the delivery of his baby.
Lost a heartbeat in the womb, and they had to emergency rush her to surgery to do a C-section. My wife is so dedicated to our child. I'm just thankful for today that we're in a much better position.
I'm rooting for Jasper Troy, man. I hope he wins the entire thing for the men's side. Kicking things off, it's Chris Island against Troy Yearwood. Troy Yearwood has this to say beforehand.
Same mission, different day. My job is to have the best match I possibly can. We're gonna put on the show, and after that, it's up to the judges.
We also see here Mickie James and Bubba Ray Dudley vibing.
not even the fault. I be going hard.
And then Bubba wonders about Troy Yearwood being a heel or a face.
Troy's a bad guy?
Troy's gonna be a heel.
You got some swagger. You got a little swagger.
I gotta say, I think it fits.
I agree. I think Troy has a bit of a cocky jock swagger about him, and we see it again here.
You suck, Troy! Boo! Okay.
Honestly, I can't believe it took 3 months, but finally someone shut Bubba Ray Dudley up. This match opens up with a great collar and elbow bit of intensity, and then it's followed by a little slap from Troy Yearwood.
When he steps through the
elbows and very few actual moves, we see an impressive dropkick from Yearwood.
Oh, nice.
There it is. Nice standing drop kick. That's the first good one he's hit in a while.
And then we see him showing more character finally.
It's about a character, it's about a presentation. Kick out. dare say Troy Irwin's probably showing more character now than he has throughout the course of this journey.
He reminds me a lot of prototype John Cena, just maybe not as good. The attire he's chosen today with the sneakers and the jorts probably isn't helping though. The judges also pick up on him being better as a heel.
There's definitely more of an edge to him as a heel.
I know. Better.
More of an edge to him.
Yeah, as a heel, yeah.
I know I'm not a huge fan of Chris Island's attitude, but I will say, as always, the credit has to be as loud as the criticism, and him as a babyface, I can see something there for sure.
Beginning of LFG. It's about impressing the judges. Here tonight for these two, it's about impressing one woman.
The match comes to an end with Troy Yearwood trying to use the ropes for leverage as Island counters for the ankle lock submission win.
Yearwood's in trouble. Mickey James looking on, and Troy's got it tapped.
Mickey James looks intensely on as she's got a big decision to make later today. We then go to the judges' feedback where Booker T wonders about the origin of Troy's outfit. I was surprised that no one can see the John Cena comparison here, but then again, no one can see.
I thought you was going for the Incredible Hulk, like thing, you know, you gotta have the stretchy pants, you know, that's what I thought, you know what I mean?
Booker says you've got a tough choice. Both of them work their asses off. Mickey says she doesn't quite know what she's gonna do, but she's proud of them both. And the trend of Taker being a nice guy and Bubba being the hard ass continues here.
Good collar and elbow.
Come on, Elijah, do something today.
Elijah showed everybody something last time we saw him, mind you. And Elijah clearly heard what Bubba was saying at ringside because he hits a mean clothesline mid-match.
Very different step.
Ooh, man, he could have thrown his freaking back out right there.
And on Shiloh's end, ahead and call up Rick Grimes. These walkers are getting out of hand again. Taker talks more about the fight between Evander Holyfield and Mike Tyson and how mid-match Tyson took a chunk out of Evander's ear.
Didn't do it. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Try anything. This would try anything.
To be fair, Taker, it was a pretty great spot. And then a weird spot with the referee into Shiloh's finisher brings this one to an end.
One or the other here in this. What? Double underhook with a little extra oomph in the center of the ring. Hill powering down Holyfield for the victory.
We then hear from Bubba Ray on what he thought of the match, and it was at the end of the day, entertainment is a big part of WWE, and some of the most successful wrestlers have been bigger entertainers than wrestlers. Bubba shockingly says he can't entirely make a quick decision here, as we get set for Jasper Troy against Anthony Luke.
I gotta prove it for my friends, and I gotta prove it to myself that I belong here.
And then we see this from Booker T.
Oh, yeah.
I will be using that as a reaction meme, thank you. But this match is a chef's kiss between two men who are no doubt both 1 and 2 seeds in the LFG men's conference. Hell, this match may very well take place on an NXT PLE someday where they call back to this moment. The match continues to cook as Anthony Luke garners some compliments for his selling.
If we could do that. Yeah.
The match comes to an end, seeing a Vader bomb for Jasper Troy to pick up the win.
And Troy now with that Vader bomb. Mask out of the corner, into the cover.
Then we see Bubba question why Jasper looks so annoyed.
Do you mind if I ask what this little tension thing was between you?
Competition. He made a statement, questioned my passion, questioned my integrity.
Did you let it go?
We talked it out in the ring.
This might be the hardest decision of the competition.
Then Booker weighs in with his final comment.
It's a hard decision to make. Both you guys are winners in my eyes.
It was now time for the eliminations, where Booker kicks things off by once again shining a light on Anthony Luke and Jasper Troy. The Undertaker compliments his guys, but ultimately he says this.
Tony and Jasper, 2 titans going at it, man. By a hair. Luke, Jasper.
Then Mickey votes for her guy.
Perception is reality.
And he continues by saying this.
Keep your mouth shut.
My mom also taught me a lesson to always stand up for myself and believe.
And there you have it. I'm giving my point to Jasper Troy and Anthony Luke. Great job.
And seemingly with one final breath, Chris Island just put the nail in his coffin.
I think Chris often, he feels like he has to defend himself. Sometimes you don't need to respond. You just say like, oh, okay.
And then music to my ears because the judges finally see what I've been saying for the last few months.
There's no way to shut up.
You know,
Just shut the
that's the problem.
I can't stand that.
We then see the updated LFG scoreboard where Booker T gets the point to go to 7, but he's still one behind Taker, who is at 8.
And I think that you've just really started to scratch the surface of it, and I'd love to see more of that.
Mickey kicks things off by saying Troy Yearwood is just starting to scratch the surface, while Chris Island could benefit from being quiet sometimes. But despite all of that, the person Mickey is sending home is...
I'm gonna send home. It's you, Troy.
Troy says, I'm disappointed, but I'm not done yet.
Troy Yearwood needs to do a little more.
His soul.
Next, it was down to Shiloh Hill and Elijah Holyfield, where Taker kicks things off by saying,
First thing I have to say is how incredibly proud I am of the work that you guys put in. I couldn't ask for any more.
He also comments on Shiloh's impressive growth, but ultimately comes to this decision.
I would be doing you a disservice right now if I move you along. I hope you realize your future is up to you.
Yes, sir.
All right?
Yes, sir.
And you know, anything I can do, I'm always going to be there, right?
Yes, sir.
I think Elijah Holyfield is one of those guys that I really want to see them sign and develop and nurture. Not even just because of his name, but because he really was impressive over those last couple episodes, but too little too late. And then Bubba decides between Drake Moreau and BJ Ray.
It's the entertainment business. I think you have a great future. I hope you don't give up. You stay, you go.
Let's go, BJ! BJ Ray heads through and Drake leaves with a heartfelt goodbye to the judges.
I'm not getting the TV contract. Thank y'all for everything, bringing my personality out. We continue to work on it. I just thank y'all for everything.
We then see a very sweet moment as Drake heads to the back. Aw, that's sweet. But now it was time for Jasper Troy and Anthony Luke. And Booker begins by saying that Anthony Luke is a little too similar to The Rock, and everyone that has tried to be him doesn't succeed. Final send-off as we say goodbye to Showtime.
I truly believe that I could be one of the best in this business. This isn't the last that you're going to be seeing of Showtime.
Jasper then gets further compliments for his commitment to the competition as he locks in for the next round.
From beginning to end on this whole thing, it's taking this thing like it should, like we did back in the day.
If I'm gonna win this thing, I have to get another gear. I have to hit another level. I have to become a different person.
Then Shawn Michaels comes in to drop one last bombshell, announcing that the finals will be held in Madison Square Garden. And then Drake is asked outside the PC what the future holds for him.
It holds greatness, man. And I'm looking forward to working every day to get there.
But we then see one final scene from Jasper Troy, which was a little weird. He tells his wife that he's going to MSG, and then he's coming home, and she responds by saying,
Hi. Oh, we don't have any money.
It's all right. I love you.
Hurry up. I love you. Bye.
Man, they were really right when they said Jasper Troy has a serious commitment to this business because even his wife is working, brother.